What if I told you this? When someone tries to humiliate you, they're not declaring war. They're gathering data. Machiavelli once said, "People live by perception more than by truth. Whoever controls perception controls reality." He also warned that power isn't loud. It's quiet, patient, and unseen. Maybe that's why most people never find it. They mistake noise for strength. They think whoever speaks last wins. But the world doesn't test your words, it tests your stillness. Every jab, every smirk, every casual insult is a probe asking one silent question. What controls you? Most people answer without realizing it through their tone, their anger, their rush to explain. And in that instant, they surrender. The truth is simple. The one who reacts reveals. The one who observes learns. And the one who remains unmoved commands. Every insult is a coded question. What shakes you? The mockery, the sarcasm, the criticism. None of it is accidental. They're all pressure points disguised as words. People insult not because they despise you, but because they're curious about what controls you. It's an experiment to reveal what part of your identity still depends on validation. But the moment you stay still, the experiment collapses. The silence confuses them. They expected heat, not ice. They wanted reaction, not reflection. When they don't get the emotional chaos they were fishing for, they lose balance. That's the hidden power of restraint. It makes others reveal themselves. Insults, when decoded, are mirrors. They don't describe you. They expose the insecurities of the speaker. Envy speaks through accusation. Weakness hides beneath moral judgment. And insecurity disguises itself as humor. The wise don't react. They record. They watch, analyze, and learn. Because every emotional attack is a free lesson in human psychology. The most powerful man in any room is not the loudest. It's the one who controls the frame. The frame is the invisible space where meaning is decided. When someone insults you, they're not trying to win the argument. They're trying to drag you into their frame, one ruled by emotion, chaos, and defense. If you step into that arena, you've already lost. When you remain calm, you redefine the frame. Suddenly, the aggressor looks desperate, and your stillness becomes contrast. The audience shifts its gaze no longer at the insult, but at your composure. Control of emotion is control of narrative. Control of narrative is control of power. To master the frame is to make others dance to the rhythm of your silence. The fool shouts to be understood. The wise man lets the world misinterpret him and wins through mystery. The world mistakes quietness for weakness. But silence is not the lack of words, it's the presence of control. A silent man is unreadable, and what cannot be read cannot be predicted. When someone throws an insult expecting an explosion and receives nothing but composure, their confidence begins to rot. Their ego crumbles under the weight of their own noise. People fear being ignored more than being attacked, because silence forces them to face themselves, and most people can't stand their own reflection. In that moment, your calmness becomes their mirror, and their reaction becomes confession. The truly powerful don't raise their voice. They raise tension by saying nothing. That's why the man who doesn't flinch is more terrifying than the man who roars. No word can wound you unless it finds an open wound. Every insult that hurts reveals a place inside you still seeking approval. Once you see that, you understand the game isn't external, it's internal. The world can't insult what you've accepted in yourself. When you know your flaws, they can no longer be weaponized. The moment you stop defending your image, you become untouchable. Because nothing disarms manipulation faster than total self-knowledge. Ask not, why did they say that? But, why did it affect me? That single shift turns you from target to tactician. You no longer react from pain, you respond from clarity. And when you no longer need to prove your worth, your presence becomes power. Self-awareness is the armor of kings. Those who know themselves cannot be broken because there's nothing left to attack. Every insult carries a hidden confession. People project what they cannot face. The envious call others arrogant. The insecure call others fake. The weak disguise resentment as morality. So when someone attacks you, they're really describing themselves. Machiavelli knew that human nature reveals itself under pressure. A person's words under stress are fingerprints of their inner fractures. So listen, like a strategist. Every tone, every insult, every repetition, it's all data. Instead of reacting, you collect intelligence. You start to see patterns. Who mocks from envy, who criticizes from fear, who provokes to hide shame. That's how emotional intelligence becomes strategic advantage. The greatest warriors don't hate their enemies, they study them. Because hatred blinds, but awareness dissects. Sometimes silence isn't enough. There are moments when power must speak but softly. A subtle reply is not a defense. It's a weapon sheathed in calm. When someone says, "You've changed," the insecure defend. The powerful say, "Growth tends to do that." When they sneer, "You think you're better?" You say, "I think differently." These aren't comebacks, they're closures. They end the battle without feeding it. Because subtlety, not aggression, is what unbalances the arrogant. The less emotion you use, the sharper your words cut. The pause after your calm sentence will echo louder than their entire rant. That's how composure becomes command through elegance, not ego. Power isn't measured in moments, it's measured in endurance. Anyone can stay calm once. Few can remain unshaken for years. Machiavelli understood that emotional speed destroys strategy. Those who rush to react burn their leverage. Those who endure quietly let time do the talking. Drama devours itself. The unstable eventually collapse under repetition. But the composed accumulate quiet credibility. The longer you remain centered, the more reality begins to orbit around you. Patience, in the realm of power, is a form of warfare. Each time you stay still, while others unravel, you build a fortress no chaos can breach. The world respects what remains unbroken. The mountain outlasts the storm, not by fighting it, but by standing through it. That's the long game. That's how the calm always win. Eventually, something remarkable happens. You no longer need to stay calm. You are calm. Insults pass through you like wind through open hands. The emotional test loses meaning. Those who once tried to provoke you now hesitate. They feel your stillness not as silence, but as gravity. You've become unreadable, and in a world addicted to reaction, unreadability is power. People fear what they cannot predict, and respect what they cannot shake. Your presence alters their behavior. They lower their tone, choose their words carefully, and without you saying a thing, the hierarchy has shifted. You've become the still point in the chaos, the calm that makes others orbit. This is the final transformation, from the one who reacts to the one who defines reactions. Real strength doesn't shout, it doesn't argue, it doesn't need validation. It simply does not flinch.